Welcome back, guys, to the SBENU Star League Season 3 here, down live at the Nixon Arena. I am Valdez. With me today is Moonglade. We just had Sue get knocked out by Deer in a best-of-5 series. A very surprising upset. Was not expecting that one.
That's right, Valdez. Kind of a disappointing result as well. I think we've all been looking forward to having Sue and another Zerg into the Star League tournament, main tournament, but I guess we'll have to make do with Life, Rogue, all these other guys, and hopefully make it through. By the way, this song is from Inception.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the Inception song. But it's like a weird version of it.
It was really cool.
I liked it.
I was loving the drums in the beginning. Maru, by the way, he made it in here, of course, because he's a badass. Well, he does get the seed from making the round of 8 of the Season 2.
Right.
Here, so.
Yeah, he gets... Does he get seeded or does he have to qualify, Valdez?
No, he was seeded.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. That all makes sense then. Sora, on the other hand, this kid has made it through the gauntlet, and I'm very interested to see who he went through to get here.
We're gonna take a look at Sora right now and see who he had to make it through.
There's the young gun. He actually went through Sorry, Patience, Stalk, and then Stalk again to make it here. He had to beat the player coach Stalk twice after losing to SOS on the way. So
yeah,
not the hardest, but still an impressive beat. He's made it this far, but how is he going to fare against, dare I say, the best PvPer we have in Korea and the world?
Yeah, this may actually be straight up the best player versus Protoss that we've had in a very long time.
It's getting to that point, right? Because he can actually fight Protoss on any map, and he has this ridiculous style that is just so aggressive that it pulls him apart every time.
He plays against Zest on Deadwing, and he's like, oh, this is my favorite map against Protoss, lol. He just stomps him.
I guess it'll just happen, and I dare say we should see a 3-0 today, but we've seen crazy stuff happen so far. Anything is possible.
Just Deer able to make it through over Sue, that was really surprising. Also, Journey, at least getting into Game 5 against Match3. Match3 was able to win that one.
Making him sweat for it. Here we go. 5 maps we have. Iron Fortress, Echo, Vani, Coda, and then Cactus.
So, Sora banned Deadwing, which is very interesting. I think he's beginning to realize how good Maru is on that map, and he's like, nope, I won't even do it. I don't care.
Yeah, well, hey, he's going for the smaller maps because of this. He got rid of the big Deadwing map. Doesn't want to play that big macro game with Maru. Maybe wants to go for the smaller sort of maps.
But interesting that he leaves Vani Research Station in the pool against Maru, who is just so deadly with his drops and his multitasking. I think that's going to be a really, really hard map for Sora, unless he's got a very specific build to maybe end it before he even gets there. Maybe he'll try the Colossi Phoenix build. He's done it before.
Yeah, you might be right there. All right. Well, there is Maru's hand from Season 1. Defeating Dream in that one.
4-1. He was the first player to do it. Classic was the second.
Yep. We'll see who's the third.
Wouldn't be surprised, man, if Dream makes it to another finals, to be honest.
He is that consistent. I think he can do it.
Yeah, well, guys, we're coming to set number 1 here in Match 3, Maru versus Sora, Iron Fortress, right now.
Love this music.
I'm loving it too, Moonglade. Let's jump into the game right now. Down here in the bottom left in the blue, our return player from the Jin Air Green Wings, recently bringing them to the final match of Pro League. It is Maru.
And up here in the top right, the Protoss challenger, it is Sora. Making it through that gauntlet now is up against a beast. We haven't seen Sora in quite some time. He comes out now and then. Usually a PvP specialist more than anything else.
Yeah. kind of pokes out. There's like a sea of heads of nerds who are just like not quite good enough to be consistent to make like the top level of the individual leagues, but he pokes up every once in a while.
He pokes his beak up.
Yeah. Usually gets bopped right back down.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Do you know like the most successful run Sora has had? I don't imagine it was past like a round of
I think it was
16.
a WCG one year, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
I think he qualified for WCG and he got pretty deep. I think he might have even got to the grand finals and he lost to Sulky, I believe. If I recall correctly, we were both there, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. But outside of that, like no SSL or GSL, like real.
No, this guy is just not finding much success inside Korea, unfortunately.
Now, we'll see how he can do here today. It is so unfortunate that he draws Maru of all people.
It's like literally the worst opponent he could have ever drawn.
Yeah, it is the worst.
Yeah.
The worst in the pool.
Worst in the pool. Probably one of the harder matchups for him too, considering how good he is against PvP.
Yeah. Probably not his best matchup. He's up against a guy who is the strongest player against Protoss in Korea and the world. We'll see what he has prepared for tonight, Moonglade. What is he going to do to take down this titan of a Terran player?
Well, to start things off, he's certainly going to be forced into a bit of a macro game, probably a defensive mode, because it is such a big map. It is cross spawns as well, so I don't know what he could really do early on to really trip up Maru. Maru's also going to get that scout up with the SCV. And see that expansion as well, so he knows exactly what he's up against here.
He'll have a good idea. Similar gas timings with Myungshik, by the way. Just want to point that out. Must be something more popular that Terrans are doing these days. Or Protosses, rather.
Yeah. Well, just going for that, you know, that natural nice and early before he invests into anything else. And then getting out the Stalker Mothership to deflect any sort of aggression, any sort of Reaper scouting. Then he can safely go into that tech that he chooses. Try and do some damage.
Reaper just chilling outside the front door. He sees the expansion, of course, and just gonna play it safe. Sora only now going for that scout. You're gonna eventually see what Maru is doing.
Oh, puts it down as the Reaper is jumping up. Great scout from Maru, doesn't take a lick of damage.
Yeah, not one shot went off on that Reaper.
No. And unfortunate, and we are gonna see that reactor factory opening from Maru as well.
Not very surprising. This is like the Maru build at this point.
Gonna try for those run bys. Do a little bit of damage. Probably that Reaper and 2 aliens at the front.
Yeah, I'm sure he will eventually go into Widow Mines. I think it's almost like 100% of the time that he just goes for these gigantic Widow Mine drops. 4 Widow Mines in each medevac and just drops them all on one expansion. And just hopes like one of them gets some damage.
Oh, what? Look at this. What is he thinking?
I can't imagine what that is.
Oh, well, he changed his mind pretty quick. Maybe looking for the style that we used to see in the beta of Wings of Liberty, where you hide a pylon in your enemy's main base and hope that they never scout it.
Yeah, that was a really, really
that is called. That's what we call the prayer strat. Valdez. You make a prayer as you put down the pylon, like, please never see it ever.
Yeah. Just don't scout your main. It's fine.
Never scout your main. Never go to your ramp, because I'm pretty sure if you went to the ramp, you would have seen it as well.
Oh boy.
Potential damage here, but we'll see. We'll see.
Nice, nice micro there on the probe just to get the damage done onto the one very weak Hellion. But at the same time, this is just distraction for the Reaper to come back in and see absolutely everything.
And everything he sees.
Yeah, you know, it's just a very safe, very standard laid-back style from Sora. Get out a bunch of observers, get out those very early Colossi, and this is almost directly playing into Maru's hands. This is what he loves to see.
Yeah, look at this. 2 Widow Mines on the way. Observer scattered it there, and we have Stalkers en route to intercept it. Probe might see it, actually.
Yeah.
No. He's ready for it. Maru's going to be very careful with this.
Let's see if he flies straight into these Stalkers.
Looks like he might. Oh.
Instant reaction and boost away.
As expected.
Yep. Gonna save that medevac entirely.
Just have a couple of Hellions on the map. Looks like they're just looking around for any sort of proxy pylons, any sort of proxy tech. Gonna find the pylon on the map actually, which is actually a massive thing. Something you'd never expect. It's like, really, he caught me out. And look at this. Completely undefended natural, nothing in position for it. These Widow Mines might actually get a shot off.
Let's see the pull.
Oh.
Whoa! Bunching up a ton of those probes, but both of them do go down. It looks like one shot went off onto 3 probes. Medevac now flying straight into a photon cannon.
Oh, what? Wait. He thought there was more than 2 mines in that, so he activated his second photon overcharge. And he wasted all the energy on his mothership core. Big mistake there, maybe a little too nervous.
At the same time, he does kill the medevac.
That is something.
Not sure how worth it is. I mean, it's interesting the style that Maru's going for. In fact, he's not going to commit to any more drops. In terms of Widow Mine drops. I mean, he's pumping those medevacs. We're definitely going to see some bio drops somewhere on the map. But
he's got a lot of bio with this army already.
Yeah.
Stim is finishing up. Combat shield and +1.
Look at the army currently for Sora. He's got 1 Colossus. He's only now powering up those gateways. He's got 6 Stalkers and 2 Sentries now. But by the time Maru hits this base, there's going to be no photon overcharge. As you mentioned before, no energy. Also, the army of Sora is way out on the map. He's got to be very careful about that, too.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful at this point. But this is the most dangerous point for Maru. He's going to look for that army. He's going to try and take down that Colossus in a second.
Yep.
And there's not really much to buffer for him other than 2 force fields.
This is where Maru is different from Journey. He is going to commit to attacking this army straight on. Or he'll try to cancel that 3rd base, not allow the Protoss to get any momentum in this game.
Here we go. He's going to start. And just look at the positioning already. Stims forward despite what he sees. No fear at all, and he's going to get a Colossus for it.
Easy Colossus, taking very efficient trades here, trading with some of the Stalkers. Now he just picks up, boosts away after taking down one of those Colossi. Now only 1 remains. You know, maybe by the time the next attack hits from Maru, there will be 2 Colossi out, but I'm sure Maru's going to be just fine to trade once again.
Yeah, just looking for these trades. If he can try and damage the Colossus count as much as possible while this army starts to get off the ground. Now that his production's fully up and running with 5 racks, like, it's just going to be a matter of time before he overwhelms.
Yeah. The one interesting thing that I want to point out is that the Dark Shrine is about to finish, and I'm not sure if Maru's really got the buildings in his main, the defenses here necessary to hold this off. He's got 1 turret there at the natural. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good point, but that's it. That's it. He has nothing at his 3rd base that could help him out here. But let's see, because it is a big commitment as well that Sora has made to this kind of play. Like, obviously he has less units because of it, and this is not good at all.
Well, that's going to be 2 free Colossus. Stimming in all these Marauders, going to focus them down immediately. Loses both of them for free. He gets the 2 Widow Mines down there on the ramp to zone out the rest of the Protoss army. They all get hit. A ton of damaged Protoss units trying to come in here and defend, and he only just barely do so.
3 DTs getting warped in now, so we might see a bit of a counterattack. It's on the left side of the map. Let's see if we can get some revenge here.
This is like the only hope right now for Sora. Look at the supplies. 141 to 90. He needs to get critical damage done here to Maru's base.
Yeah, even then, like, can it actually be worth it? Is it actually going to change anything at this point? Because the bio at the front of this base is going to wipe out everything else.
Yeah, Maru may just be able to base trade if it came to it. He could just like lift his buildings and go for it.
He probably could get away with it, actually. Here we go again. Found that Colossus.
He's just got way too much stuff at this point. There's no AoE in this army. Just straight up AoE units. There are the Widow Mines blowing up most of the Protoss army. That is going to do it. Maru's going to take game number 1.
No doubt about that. Down goes the 3rd base. Sora's going to stick around, maybe make something of it, but what can he really do?
He's trying to make those DTs do immaculate work for him, but it's not going to work out.
And as you can see, like, such the big difference between Journey and Maru right now is the Marauder count. It's such a different sort of composition that we're seeing here.
That's the biggest thing. For any Terrans trying to learn from the best, you want to be watching this guy. No offense to Journey, I think he's got something to learn also from this guy. GG. Maru will take game number 1. And the kind of game that we actually expected.
Yep.
Sora, I think the positioning on his army was not good enough to deal with the aggression from Maru. Maru didn't even really commit to any drops. He didn't even make that many Widow Mines. He was just going for straight-up trading. And Sora just committed too much to DTs and wasn't able to do enough damage, and it was too late.
And that's why he does have this statue of his hand, and he's kissing a ring. He's that good at PvP. And I mean, let's see what Sora's got planned for these other maps. Echo is the next one.